Hey guys, just doing a spread, doing things a little bit differently tonight, but I want to do a spread, so just deal with me for one moment. Hey guys, all the comments just come through at once. I'm going to scroll back to the beginning of the comments. I'm just doing things just a little bit differently this evening. I am here again tomorrow night as well because I am not here for an hour this evening. But just, deal with me for 1 second, all right? So I've pulled some cards very specific to somebody, and I know that somebody's going to join and watch these cards. So what I want to say is, okay, we're looking at life direction. We're focusing on that. So I want to say you need to stay grounded, okay? So that just means kind of keeping your bearings around you, making sure you're managing your self-care, making sure that you just kind of keep in perspective over everything that's happening around you because you've got the balance card that comes straight after it, okay? So just be really mindful to stay realistic, and as much as we might not want that or see that, we've just got to kind of accept and see what is and just work throughout it and not create delays around it because you've got the procrastination card there as well. You've also got the spirit card that's there, and the spirit card for me always talks about support. You know, spirit is around us. They love us. They want us to do our best, and spirit guides, and depending on, you know, beliefs and all those kind of little bits and pieces. But when it comes down to it, when I created this deck, this card comes out as a card that says the support that's there around you. Okay, you've also got the completions card, and it comes in as a tower, and it's about, you know, as one door closes, another one opens. All right, and that you are secure in the choices and everything else that you're doing. So that you're doing the right thing at the moment as far as looking after yourself and doing everything else. Now, the card that comes after that, you've got the shit happens card, okay? And the shit happens card is just that. It's a really kind of unfair card, that in life things just happen, and it doesn't necessarily mean that we did anything to deserve them or that it's the way that we wish things were or anything else like that, but it happens. And so we need to come to a point of acceptance and let it be, as I always say, a speed hump in life as opposed to like this, you know, huge mountain, because it is something that we can get over. It just depends on our perspective. And when we do that, you've got the freedom card, okay? You've also got the stay connected card, which talks about the grounding, the balance, procrastination, all those kind of things. It's just that reminder. It's really important that you stay connected to yourself at the moment because there's a lot of internal conflict that's going on for you. Then you get the love card that comes out. Now, this love card is not necessarily around relationships, okay? This card talks about truth and it talks about happiness and desire. It talks about getting to that point where you can bring those things into yourself healthily and in a way they're meant to be. Okay, so it's showing that there's going to be a positive, at the end of the day, you're going to be okay. Then it says to look at the bigger picture, okay? That we're focusing on the long term, beyond the self and beyond the moments. So the things that you need to focus on most, again, you've got the self-care card that comes up, okay? Catching the rainbow, to remember that your goals are not impossible. There's a hell of a lot of frustration involved in it. But your final card talks about moving on, okay? But it talks about moving on towards better things, and that takes lots of different shapes and forms. But I just want to say overall right now, I just feel like everything needs time. It needs acceptance of the way things are. And as we've always said, you know, watch you in your own while caring for those that you love as well, okay? Because we know that everybody is important in this situation. So it's time to kind of see the situation for what it is and start moving on from that. All right, that's what's sort of sitting there at the moment. So I hope that those cards have helped you. And now I'm just going to jump over to the live feed. Oh, wow. No, I can't show you. It's slipping in my hand. Yeah, look. Oh, blue. Do you see? It's got the beautiful green all through its feathers. That was really nice. It's feathers. It's wings. All right, so guys, let me just jump back because I know that a few of you are waiting. So sorry, I know that was a little bit different to the norm. Hello, everybody. Hey, Elizabeth, Maureen, Tiara, Lisa, Jody, Wendy, Victoria. Hey, Victoria, thank you for your patience. I'm just going to pull some cards on what it is that you need to know most right now. So, guys, as you know, I don't draw readings based on whether you like, whether you share, all those kind of little bits and pieces that are there. Absolutely appreciated if you do, but you're under no obligation. What I do love, though, is if you can leave like hearts or thumbs up and things like that in the live feed. It does help with my algorithm and helps share my live feed in a way that's pretty simple to do. So always appreciate thumbs up or heart when you are watching. All right, Victoria. All right, so you've got the healing card. Talks about being patient, but what this card also talks about is allowing the healing to come in. Okay, what I mean by that is healing is this thing that we don't just get to choose to do. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of effort, and when we're ready, it takes then an extra lot of effort as well because there's all this attachment to it. There's moving on. There's forgiveness. There's understanding. There's perspective. All of these huge things that come in, and there's also other people's opinions and perspectives that we've got to deal with in all of that, and it leaves us with that internal conflict. So you've got the Crossroads card, which talks about decisions and choices and direction being around you right now. So it's very important that you kind of have a look and see where you're at. You've got the healing card, the internal conflict. It's almost like you've got a choice whether or not to sort of sit or to move forward. Okay. Have a little bit of patience with yourself. I know you guys can't see the cards very well, but it's just habit to hold them up. Have a little bit of patience with yourself, and it's time now where you really need to call on yourself, trust in yourself, belief, because that is where it all begins. And see how, specifically put the light on the solar plexus, so put the light above the crown chakra. It is really time to trust. Your instinct is telling you what you need to do now. You need to trust in that, even though it may not be the easiest choice. You're not going to look back with regret. I absolutely promise you that. Okay, so yeah, call on your own energy, call on your own power, and it's time to move forward. So I hope that helps. All right. I am well, Catherine. Thank you very much for asking. Hey, Elena. Kate, Jody, good evening. We've got some guidance. Sorry, the guy I'm seeing, please. All right. So as you guys know, I'll always give you the information that you need to make a choice, but I'll never make choices or decisions for you. So let me pull some cards as just of what you asked for some guidance. I feel like you've both had journeys, and I feel like you've both not necessarily completed those journeys. So when I talk about that, I'm talking about like healing, previous experiences, all of those kind of things that define us to a certain point until we sort of sit and take a breath and work out who we are amongst all of that and move on from it. And it's not necessarily a negative thing, but it just means that there needs to be really open and honest communication, and that in the imperfection lies the perfection. You got a jump card. This relationship's here for a very specific reason. Okay. So as I said, okay, these are both on your journeys, and one of the things that I always talk about with relationships, because as I said, it's not for me to say, yeah, I know your relationship's not going to work, because that comes in the choices and the decisions that you make. Even if a psychic sits here and says, no, this relationship's doomed, if you walk away with that and go, okay, what do I need to fix, and you fix it, that'll change the outcome. There's a little bit of that energy here, obviously. So you've got the take a moment card, but in this, you've also got the growth card, which talks about self-awareness and talks about opportunity and potential. It's like the tree of life. Okay, as I said, this is my deck. I know this card has a lot of power and it's a lot of positive energy. You've also got the uncertainty card that comes after it, which talks about confusion, doubt, and clouded judgment. That's where I want to say open and honest communication is really important. It's really important that you identify with yourself and your needs and your quirks and all of those kind of things, and understand that someone else has those things too. When you do that, liberation comes. You get to just be free in the relationship. You get to really trust into your truth, your happiness, and your desires here. Just keep yourself grounded. Don't let yourself become insecure when you shouldn't. Don't accept other people's insecurities when you shouldn't either. Open and honest communication will abate those insecurities. This is where the lessons are. You've got the where are you card, which talks about where are you in life. You know what I mean? And that's where, as I said, you've got that opportunity to take heed. I feel like you've got somebody really nice next to you. I feel like you've got a positive person. And I feel like there's still journeys there. As I said, I'm catching myself on positive, not because I don't want to take the word back, but because what I want to say is that underneath, I feel like this person has the same drive as you, the same ultimate end want. Okay, they're just still on their journey. So your jump card that come out when I'm shuffling the cards is clearing out the stables. Talks about out with the old and in with the new, clearing out the shit. Okay, so there's a shovel of shit, and so that's what that talks about. It's let go of old insecurities, let go of old thought patterns, let go of old expectations, let go of, and it's let go, let go, let go. I know it's not just as easy going, just let go. But you need to catch yourself in the moment. You need to be aware of it. Don't self-sabotage this relationship. don't self-sabotage the opportunities and the lessons that are there within it. Okay, I feel like there's a lot of beautiful opportunities and growth is going to come in this relationship, but you need to be mindful. Both of you need to be mindful. And just being open and honest with each other. Open and honest, whether or not it's the end of the life relationship. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not just saying that because I feel like it's no. I just feel like there's a lot of growth and a lot of lessons in this relationship, and so, where that all going to end up is yet to be seen, but I do feel like you're definitely meant to be here. So I hope that helps. Hey Trish, hey Beverly. Can I get a reading of my love life, please? So I'm just going to pull cards on what it is that you need to know most around that, okay? What it is that you need to know, to look into yourself to make sure that it is all on par. Nice, okay. So you've got the Stand Strong card and you've got the Stay Connected card. So the Stand Strong card for me is just that. See, she's got a, muscles up. You can do this, is what it says. So it's talking about, trusting yourself, trust what you have to offer, trust where you stand in relationships, whether or not this is about a relationship coming in or one that's around you. Pardon me, it's very important that you identify with yourself and your needs and your boundaries and all those kind of little bits and pieces. Stay connected to yourself. And you can see all the words: express, enjoy, listen, desire, emotion, patience, spend time, priorities. What did you know? That you are supported and feel like you are supported with that person around you when you stand strong. I feel like there's a vulnerability here. I feel like you've almost got a choice. Sorry, a rough voice comes sometimes at the end of a long day of readings or end of a long week of readings. But you've got the support that's there, okay? So trust in that. Trust that you're in a safe place. Trust in yourself. You've got the Spirit card, which there comes in as well, okay? Which, as we've said earlier, is all about support, all about the fact that our loved ones are with us. Then you've got the Health card, and the Health card doesn't just talk about physical health, it talks about emotional and mental health and everything else like that. And as I said, I feel like it's important that you keep yourself in check. I feel like it's important that you stay connected to yourself. So then you get the Unity card. Love, relationships, and trust, which is my love card in this deck, okay? So the right thing is coming in, but it's up to you to say, I'm not going to accept anything less. And I feel like with what's around you right now, so whether there's a relationship around you right now or you're waiting for one to come in, I want to say the same thing. You've got the opportunity to create that environment around you, okay? But you have to stand strong and you have to stay connected to yourself. Don't just listen to what other people need and make compromises around that, because you'll always find yourself a couple of years later regretting it. Okay, so I hope that makes sense and I hope that it helps. All right, I'm going to do a big catch up on comments now because I've kind of scrolled from the start. So guys, always please feel free to comment more than once. And also appreciate, as I said, just a thumbs up or a heart on the video. Definitely helps my algorithm. I don't have anyone sharing for me this evening. Hey, Jeffrey. Always bring it back to your gut, because I know you know what's going on. I've had the pleasure of watching your strength and courage over the last several months. So when I say you know, here in your gut, what's going on. Some people not turning out, perhaps, who gee whiz, that freedom card's coming up a lot tonight. I like that. Yeah, so you're time to, yeah, all right. So you've got the bigger picture card, which talks about long-term, beyond self and moments. And as I said, and those of you that know, Jeffrey, I've had the privilege of watching you for several months, okay? So when I talk about bigger picture with you, I want to talk about the long term. I know you've been sitting where you are now, so I feel like it's almost like that energy's brewing, not necessarily to leave where you're at or anything else like that, but what that means and where it takes you to next, because then you've got the transformation card and you've got the male card. Okay, so this is very much about calling back onto you. What the last, several months have taught you has now brought you to a new place where you're ready to bring on to something else. And with that comes the freedom. You've just got to detach yourself from the unspiritual aspects, if that makes sense, okay? You're at a crossroads with decisions and choices and direction, all right? But there's improvements of self and situations coming in, okay? I just feel like you need to, self-care. See, you need to trust in yourself because you've got the joy card, but it's challenging. We've already established that. There's changes coming, your truth, your happiness and desire, and that there are people around you that support in your decisions, okay? So right here, right now, something's telling you that things are shifting and you need to trust in that because they are, okay? You've brought yourself to this point to bring around changes and know those changes are there. What you going to do with them? Trust in your gut, okay? Your journey was never to end here, and I don't mean that in a huge, substantial way. I mean just even logistically, okay? So just trust and understand in that. You put yourself on an adventure. That adventure's not finished. All right. Oh my God. Hang on, Francis. I'll come straight back to you. See you later. Email, whatever your name is. Guys, don't jump on the trolls. Seriously, like, do as you please. But most of them, I catch them when I can. But most of them are like, just scam artists. They'll tell you that you got a curse on you and you pay them $500. They'll remove it. All right, Francis. Let me throw my energy back at you. Some direction would be appreciated. All right. You know what's funny, and I'm going to say it, okay, just because looking at your name, and then I looked at you and I went, oh, wow, there's a reason for that. So we all know the movie Dirty Dancing, and Frances is either her real name or the name close to on the movie. I've watched that a dozen times, can't remember. So I looked at you and you got the curly, short hair, and what's running through my head is I had the time of my life, you know that song? So what I want to say is that, like, there's a reason why Spirit puts that together in my head. And that's what, for me, that song does talk about that. It talks about just, latching onto the things that you want most and just, throw caution to the wind and, nobody puts baby in a corner. So, you know what I mean? It's, yeah. Let me pull some cards for you, but as I said, there's a reason why they put that song there, and I just feel like it's really relevant to you right now. If you're wondering, you can't be wondering what movie I'm talking about, but if you are, go and watch it. Hello, my little nosebleeder. Again, no. You're right, mate.
It was. I know. I felt it.
Did you?
It hurt. It hurt my nose.
This is why I was a little bit late. My little one had a nosebleed. Buddy, it's not bleeding. It's not, sweetie. Go get some toilet paper.
I did already.
All right. Joys of autism and leaking. All right. So, Francis, you've got your intuition card, you've got your self-denial card, you've got your support card. Take a chance, see? So your intuition card, it talks about trusting your psychic senses, okay? Your self-denial card, it talks about self-sabotage, it talks about refusal, and it talks about stubbornness. And self-sabotage is a key word within that, okay? It just talks about, keeping yourself in places and... What's wrong, bud? Sorry, guys. There you go. All right. So self-denial, and it's those little things. It's when you catch yourself in a moment of day and you know you're not quite where you should be, and all of those kind of little bits and pieces of energy. So don't take that card at its literal sense. Have a look at it and the bigger sense behind it. Okay. And then you've got the support card that's there. So it just talks about the support card and the freedom card's coming up heaps tonight, and it's that support. It talks about the fact that people have got your back. Okay, people have your back. So, if I follow your story, you've got the take a chance card, which talks about the fact that nothing changes if nothing changes. And it's, as I said, that song has so much relevance to me right now. Nobody puts baby in a corner, I had the time of my life. I want to say it's time to step out. It's time to look around and go, you know what, actually, this life isn't kind of satisfying me in all of its aspects. And I don't want to make out, you miserable or da 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 da. But you understand what I'm talking about. You've got the external conflict, which talks about conflict caused by outside forces and people. Okay, so this may have something to do with your work frame, your relationship, energies of friendships around you, or even just where you are. Okay, but it's time to have a look at your environment around you and see and really call it out on what's not quite there at the moment. And I feel like actually you kind of know because you've got the procrastination card that's there, which talks about creating delays to avoid action. The classic and very simple examples of that are I'll wait until I do this because it's almost Christmas, or it's Jimmy's birthday next week, or it's the new year soon, or I've only got this, or da 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 da, and we kind of make reasons as to why we can delay doing what it is that is keeping us unhappy and changing that. So a little bit of food for thought, okay? And it's one of those readings. I know we got interrupted a couple of times, Francis, and I do apologise for that. But we're at 21 minutes 20. If you want to go back and watch it again, your gut and the self-denial card, they come together, and that's really heartfelt, honestly. Like, I really resonate with those energies because it's like your gut's telling you and your energy's forcing you in a different way, but in the meantime you kind of keep holding on to things that you know deep down in your heart that you kind of really want to let go of. So I hope that helps. I hope that it helps. And you know what, there's safety in all of that. There is. It's challenging. You got the freedom card again, see? Yeah, see, and then you got the prosperity card. The way that ends is something around you that's not working right now and that you need to pay attention. Okay? So, yeah, let's have a little bit of a listen to what I've said, and as I said, I hope that it helps. All right, let me catch up on the comments again. Oh, seriously? Absolutely, that is correct. A reading is only relevant to the day because it's all right, I'll go back and find it later. It's like this. I had somebody come for a reading once, and just keeping it, we'll keep it as a generic example that's there, okay? But say, for example, you got someone that comes for a reading, and they're like, oh, I don't know, I'm waiting for love to come in. At the moment, I'm kind of attached in this, semi-toxic relationship, and this person that I'm attached with also is attached somewhere else. Okay, so to clear this energy away, this is what I can see happens. Beautiful, no worries at all. That sounds great. So they come back 12 months later and they say this and this relationship hasn't still come in. And I'm like, okay, we'll just get rid of toxic person. Oh, no, I'm still attached. You know what I mean? You make your own path. If you choose not to follow what's best for you in your heart, well, obviously it's going to take you off where you're meant to go. Jenny, I want to jump on your question that's there. I don't do mediumship on the live feeds just because I'm an evidential medium, and so I like to know that you know who we're talking to. I'll give you lots of evidence around a person that we're connected to. But what I do want to say to you is that spirit does back in and out, and also when the more that we need them sometimes, and the more that we look for them sometimes in that energy, it's not because they're not there, but when it's you can't see the forest for the trees, okay? And it's that kind of energy. So what I would say is just take a breath. Take a breath and know that it's these times in the most that your mum's energy is going to be stepping in. And sometimes that does feel like pressure and it feels like frustration because their energy's trying to guide us in the right direction. And so we're kind of resisting, we're sitting a little bit over this side, but in the meantime, I'm like, hey, come on. And so spirit guidance and connection comes in so many different ways and shapes and forms. So have a look at the environment around you as well. Have a look at, the serendipitous coincidences and songs that play and just, moments that we feel and moments that we even think of them and, all of that kind of energy, as I said, because spirit can't always be obvious and they do connect with us in different ways. So don't feel that your mum's not around as much as what she always was. And just remember as well, spirits off doing their own little bits and pieces at the time. I don't really feel like spirit ever disappears. I feel like it's us that perhaps loses a bit of connection to ourselves, which makes it then a little bit harder for it to connect because you've got to remember like for example, me as a medium, what happens is the process is I've got to raise my vibration up as high as I can, and that spirit's got to drop their vibration as low as they can, and in the middle we meet. and then we can communicate, because we're down here communicating, they're up here, you know, on their vibrations, so we've got to go and bring them in the middle. So when our vibration is even lower than normal, they're going to drop down even further, and that makes it really hard. Okay, so you're not doing anything wrong or anything else like that, but you know, sometimes our vibration just drops lower, even sometimes we're looking too hard. Okay, so I just want to give a little bit of reassurance around that. There's no way that she's backed off. It's just lots and lots of different reasons and things like that to come in. The best thing that you can do is just breathe, and you'll see. You'll see. It'll mend itself. That feeling will return. Yeah, I know, Peggy. Thank you for letting me know. As I said, a number of trolls trying to message me. Seriously, I don't know, COVID has called out, whatever. But yeah, at your own risk, if you jump on them, they've got nothing to do with me, and I will go afterwards and delete them and blah, blah, blah. But I don't always see them on the live feed. Green Day, Time of Your Life. Yeah, no, not that song. The Time of Your Life from Dirty Dancing, Patrick Swayze. Come on, Jeffrey. I have the time of my life. Not that song, but that's a good song. Yeah, not that song. Yes, I do. Sharon. All right. So I'm here for a few more minutes, guys. As I said, I've got on here quite late this evening, so I will be on again tomorrow earlier, not this late tomorrow. Also doing Newcastle Spiritual Church on Sunday. You can join their service via a Zoom link. Always beautiful. Can't wait till all the churches are back up and running. And that's a mediumship demonstration and a church service. Guys, you can book a reading with me as well. Face to face is back in. Video and phone are available. All right. Keep getting the word interruptions and delays. Yeah. So, okay, so you cards to take a moment. You've got the improvement of self and situations, and you've got the stay connected card. When I tap onto that stay connected card, that's where I'm feeling the delays. But they're saying your goals are not impossible. Everything's still in play, but there's the delays and interruptions. You've got the healing card and the completions card that's there. Interestingly, with this, like with the take a moment, the improvements to stay connected and your goals are not impossible. I want to stay logistical. I want to see structure and da 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 da. When I see the healing card and the completions card, I want to bring it internally. Okay, I want to bring it internally. I feel like there's been a lot of processes going on around you at the moment. You've got the worry and doubt card, but then you've got the letting go card, which talks about releasing the binds that are there. You've got the internal conflict card, which just, you know, talks about being caught in your own thoughts a little bit. And, you know, it kind of makes sense to me with the energy that I see. It said, I've got logistical, I've got emotional, I've got internal, I've got external, all kind of running just in the first 9 cards. But you are secure. You're secure in your life and your choices. Bring yourself back to home. Despite this healing and this completions card, like I don't want to disregard the energy that sits there around them. When I say I just stand in your truth and your honour and awareness, I feel like there's something quite significant in that. And then you've got the changes card. And you're having to hold a lot of power at the moment with that, because what you need to know most, that there's change of luck coming. The female, so what you need to know most is the female card, which talks about the power coming from within. You've got a change of luck card, which talks about energies shifting for the better, but you need to make a commitment to move forward and understanding that there's cycles in life, there's beginnings and endings. There's a lot of processes going on around you right now. I just want to say to you, breathe, let go and be ready to move forward in all of those shapes and forms. And I don't want to be negligent in that comment because it's so easy to say. There's a lot of energy here, but it's still taking you to a good place. It's taking you to a good place, and it's taking you to a place of peace as well. Okay, so I hope that helps. All right. Guys, while you're here, if you haven't liked my Facebook page, I always appreciate that too. Been lingering around. Oh, the follows and the likes, there's such a big gap in between. But yeah, I keep going. My OCD wanted me to get to 6,000. I think I need like 50. How many are you there now? 39. All right, let me move on. What's that one say? May I get some guidance in regards to a situation that I've taken? Situation. Is it a situation? Alright. Let me put some cards. Have patience. I want to say have patience. It's different all the way around for everyone. So you've got the health card. Think about the long term. So just breathe, pay attention. I feel like a situation that you've taken on out of, even I want to say necessity and need, and that comes in different shapes and forms. So it's almost like you did it because of this card, and that it was time to stand strong because you do have this. Just have patience. There's a crossroads. So you've got decisions and choices and how you tackle this and how you move forward. Just look after yourself. Take a moment to breathe. Keep yourself rested. There's a lot of worries and doubts that come in with it, obviously. But let go of expectations. Let go of all those kind of things. You're getting a little bit in your head and worrying too much. But what you see in this is going to happen. And there's a beautiful... It's funny, when I get the healing card in this, I want to say there's healing all around. Again, in whatever completion that comes... completions card that comes in. Okay, so you've got a lot of energy here as well. Okay, you're able to instigate the changes and you're able to bring in what you need from this situation. One door closes and another one opens. This is a really nice positive feeling, honestly. I just feel like it's been a big decision and that there's those moments to settle in and, find our ways and all of those kind of little bits and pieces. So I want to say just take it day by day, take it piece by piece and know that you're where you're meant to be. Know that the decisions and choices that you've made are the correct ones. Keep making the power choices. Such a beautiful energy in this. It's not going to be something that you look back on and regret. Okay? Enjoy the journey. And I hope that helps. Alright, so guys, I'm going to do... what? Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. I kind of agree with that. Yes, actually, Kylie. Alright, so I'm going to do Kylie's reading and then I'm going to do one more afterwards. So guys, just remember you can book a reading with me now face to face. Again, social distancing and all those kind of things absolutely in place. Reiki and energy healing and all those wonderful things as well. Hypnotherapy as well if you would like to do past life regressions and those kind of little bits and pieces. The rest of the hypnotherapy stuff's slowly being released. Anyway, what else I want to say is you can do that online, click Facebook or my website, okay? Just click book now. That'll take you to all the available times and things like that. It really is the easiest and quickest way to book. But please always contact me if you need help. All right. I get a bit of a, what I want to say to you then is I feel like you've got an idea around business. And I'm going to just trust in that as the intuition card. So your jump card is intuition. It talks about trusting your senses, trusting your psychic senses. I feel like there's an idea. I feel like there's like a, It is time. Take a moment to look around. Don't rush in with excitement. Not that I feel like you're that kind of person, but you understand. Have patience. There's planning involved. But then you've got the transformation card, which talks about blossoming into true self. Calling on your strengths and possibly being in conjunction with a partner as well, an idea that you both have. And then you've got the beautiful growth card, which talks about opportunity and potential. As I said, this is feeling really like setting up energy that's there. procrastination, so don't doubt yourself. You got the joy card. Yeah, okay, so Kylie, as I said, when I sit with your energy that's there, I feel like, as I said, there's an idea brewing. I feel like it's actually a really positive idea, but I feel like it's one that takes planning, and I feel like it's one that I've got to attach financial opportunity to. I really do. And I want to say to you, honestly, that even if it's not there right now, it's coming in. Honestly, there's such a clear energy with this. It's like trust your intuition. There's an opportunity that's coming in, and if it ain't there on you right now, it's certainly coming in close. And it's got to do with finances. It's got to do with business or real estate. Okay, it's something that it's time, and I feel like this is something that's crossed your mind before. Just take a moment, plan it properly. Know that it is going to take you where you want to. I feel like that male card isn't just talking about calling on strength. I do feel like it's joined with someone, and that growth is a really beautiful card. It's that tree of life energy that's there. You've tossed back and forth, but know that there's joy here. You've got to stand strong in your energy. You know, put your worries and doubts in the right places. Know that your goals are not impossible, and really use your energy and your power. 3, 4. Yeah, just take a chance. Nothing changes if nothing changes. What is it that you want? Okay, so I hope that helps. All right. Lucky lost until tomorrow. It will be evening, but it will not be as late tomorrow. Oh, hey, Judy. Yeah, actually, I do. All right, Judy. Yeah, you're an hour behind us, so it's only 10 past 10 for you, isn't it? I must say, but I do love daylight savings. I wish it was that light into the evening all the way year round. Judy. A lot of health energy coming up around you. It may be to do with you or someone very close to you. Possibly you. You've got the self-denial card, you've got the intuition card, the take a moment card, the trust card, the letting go card. Have a look and just make sure you're not taking on too much around you. Okay, make sure that you're allocating yourself enough time, energy, and space. The self-sabotage, the refusal, the stubbornness, that card that's there. I don't feel like you're sitting back like this. What I feel like you're doing is looking after everybody and doing everything and trying to be your best self in all of that. But I just want you to check in with yourself where you are in all of that. Especially if you've got some ideas brewing and bits and pieces. I feel like you keep putting them on the back burner to do something else. You've got the intuition card. Talks about, trusting your psychic senses. Take a moment. Gratitude and rest are needed. You've got the trust card that's there, which talks about self-belief, and self-trust is where it all begins. It is time. You feel it and you know it. It's time to release the binds that I don't want to say you're creating them for yourself, because it's not that kind of energy, but I do want to say that it's ones that you need to be, that you're free to step away from. What brings in your change of life? A little bit of healing, which, when we've got to release, that makes sense. You've got the change of luck card. You just need to make the commitment to move forward. You need to let something go. Be patient with yourself. And you get the growth card. Okay? So, Judy, overall, what I want to say to you is that just check in with yourself and make sure that your energy and make sure your energy is going to the right places. I don't want to be portraying that. I'm not saying there's people around you that don't deserve it or anything else like that at all. I just feel like you need to check back in, ground yourself a little bit, and know that those thought processes, especially if the thought processes around business ideas to do with you, are good, are solid, and you just need to make time and give them the space and give yourself the space, energy, and love that you deserve. All right? So I hope that helps. All right, guys, thank you again for joining me this evening. I would love to see you here again tomorrow. If I've missed you, it will not be as late tomorrow, but between 8 and 9 p.m. Other than that, thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a good night, guys.